The second part of this section looks at a city in a less economically developed country, or LEDC, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. So what are the things you need to know? Take a look at the map. Make sure you know the locations of Rocinha and Barra da Tijuca, as these are the places that the item focuses on. You'll need to know why life in a shanty town or favela can be a big improvement on life in the rural parts of Brazil. The quality of life in the favela can be improved, and you need to be aware how this can be done.
Halfway down the coast of South America, where the tropical forest reaches down towards the Atlantic Ocean, a huge statue of Christ overlooks a city that is reckoned to be one of the most glamorous in the world. Its name is Rio de Janeiro. It's the second largest city in Brazil, an important centre for business and industry. That's the ordinary side of Rio. The other side is far from ordinary. A spectacular setting of mountains, sea and forest, and what the people of Rio treasure most of all, their superb beaches. Like all Brazilian cities, Rio is full of contrasts. The old next to the new, motorways next to dirt tracks, shacks next to skyscrapers. Like other Brazilian cities too, many people live in homes they have made themselves in areas called favelas. In Rio, a third of the population live in these districts. 40 years ago, when people started to pour into Rio looking for work, the favelas were collections of wooden shacks. Building your own home was, and still is, in most cities the only option for new arrivals. Today, the favelas look quite different. The largest in Rio is Rocinha, population 100,000, a kilometre or so from the beach. The residents have transformed Rocinha bit by bit into a small city. It's been upgraded from wood to bricks, with shops, schools, entertainment and 25 channels on satellite. Considering the steep hillsides, that's quite a feat. There's one bus route into the favela, but after that it's a question of moving everything by hand, including the rubbish. DIY in Rocinha never stops. Geraldo Souza is rebuilding the balcony at the front of his house. Sprucing up your home is a popular thing to do on Saturdays. Geraldo's neighbours have come to help, and he in turn will help them. The Souza's story is a classic one for Rocinha people. They moved from the countryside 20 years ago in search of work in Rio. Since then, they've just about made ends meet. Geraldo has part-time work in a fruit and vegetable market. His wife, Clotilda, is a cleaner for a family in the posh part of the city. Her Saturday pastime is reading the neighbours' fortunes. Unlike their parents, The Souza's children were all born in Rocinha. The eldest is 13-year-old Leandro. Like millions of Brazilian teenagers, he spent his whole life in a favela.
What do I do for fun? Well, I play football, I fly my kite, I play with my brothers and the kids up here. Lots of things. Sometimes I fool around my house and my mum gives me a clip round the ear, but I don't mope around for very long. I go out and play again and have a good time.
And what about his contribution to the family budget?
I go down to the shopping centre in Gabe at 7 o'clock. When I see somebody parking, I say, "Can I look after your car?" Then if he says, "You can," I say, "How long are you going to stay?" Then he says, "I'm going to stay an hour." "Okay, that's fine," I say. "I'll wait for you." I earn £3 or £4 and then I come back home. I have 2 goes on the pinball machine and I give the rest to my mum. I think my school's very nice. I like the sports hall. It's a nice place to play with my friends. I like my teacher. She's good. What I like studying most is maths and Portuguese. When I grow up, I'd like to be a lawyer. But to do that, I'm going to have to study a lot. I think one day I'll make it to be a lawyer, but it's going to be hard work.